The Big Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure Beach is now the oldest roller coaster in the UK, having stood operating for a whopping 103 years. Surely it's time for retirement at that age. And with recent events occurring on the ride that may see it closed for a huge refurbishment and repair to take place on it, I keep wondering what it would be like if the Big Dipper was ever retracked by RMC, the roller coaster manufacturer known for retracking this old jank piece of crap into this beauty, a much bigger pile of crap into one of the world's best roller coasters, and even this. Right, okay. So as much as the Big Dipper is grade 2 listed, and this would probably never happen in real life, I'm going to RMC it and see how good it could be. So make sure you watch till the end, as this layout is actually pretty mad, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. And sorry to interrupt, I very recently announced that I will be riding Rita at Alton Towers 100 times in a row in aid of the Alzheimer's Society, and every milestone we hit with donations, more laps will be added. So go and donate to the Just Giving page and check out rita100.com down below. So as per usual, if you've ever watched my videos where I RMC things or make things 500 feet tall, sadly I can't physically go to the park and do that. So instead I use Planet Coaster 2, and we're here on it right now on a Blackpool Pleasure Beach map made by Aries X. So shout out to you. And we've got Icon Avalanche, which appears to be a water slide, the iconic big one, and in Infusion, which doesn't that look so smooth? And dead center along with Skyforce, we have the Big Dipper, which runs all the way back from where Infusion is, all the way down past the big one's lift hill, all the way to around here, and it interacts with so many different rides, so this RMC could actually be pretty insane. And we've got this first turn up here where we can actually sort of make an outer bank turn drop, which I think would be really cool. This first drop, which looks very, very wiggly, typical Big Dipper fashion though, as it goes along quite slowly, but we'll make it faster with the hills we're going to replace it with. And then we head towards the big one. Hopefully nothing happens here. But what we're going to do is we're going to build over it, because otherwise I will have no idea where I'm going, and it will be the most inaccurate recreation ever. And I always struggle to find which coaster I'm trying to build. Like, it's always in the same place, yet I can never see it. And I feel like we're going to use the steel topper track, because Blackpool would want to try and keep it as wooden coaster as possible. And I'm going to drop the station down here in line with this track, and there you go. We've RMC'd the Big Dipper. But this section on the ride always makes me feel like the train is just going to fall apart. I don't know if that's just me or not. So we're going to make it feel a lot smoother, taking it round here and into this first little section. We're going to dig it a little bit further down than what Big Dipper actually goes, as I'd quite like to do some little bunny hills like RMCs love to do at the start of their rides. And the funny thing you can see already is Big Dipper has a lift hill right at the start of the ride that just takes you a tiny bit up a hill and sends you down into not a very big dip, into a small turn and into the main lift hill. So I think we're actually going to work around this a little bit, because a modern coaster would definitely not do that. I mean, what coaster do you see nowadays having a 2-foot lift hill at the start? None. And there we go. As much as it's not the smoothest right now, that is my first section of the ride going back under itself and round to that main lift hill. We've taken out the first lift, and I just want to test it to see if it will work. Here we go. It goes down a lot more than it originally used to. And then we head through this section. I was worried it was going to get stuck there. That is so slow. And there you go. Might need to find a way to make this a bit faster, maybe moving that down, but it's only a pre-lift section, so who really cares? And up the lift hill we go. I was tempted to make it a little bit taller, but I think this might be too tall. So we're actually going to finish the lift hill right there and have it go into a nice little pre-drop section, have it bank round like so, because, well, that's just an iconic part of the Big Dipper, so you kind of gotta keep that in. And we're gonna drop down like so in just a second, but obviously RMCs always have a steep drop, don't they? So I wasn't just gonna follow that very slow decline. I want to do my own drop like so, so hopefully we can make it go near vertical. And because this airtime hill right in front of us that says the name of the ride on it, because that's so iconic, I feel like we have to keep that in, and doing a drawn out airtime hill on an RMC is just not it. So what we're going to do is the classic RMC element of a 0G stall. And a stall like that is something they've never done at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and as you can see, it hangs up there for a very long time. I think that works quite well for that element. And then we're going to send it up into a regular airtime hill that should be a really good pop of ejector, much like what you can see in the background. And coming down from those two, we actually reach the point where it derailed the other week, and I'm actually going to have it go into a very quick low to the ground airtime hill followed by a wave turn. This could be a new type of dueling coaster, you know. And I think this section here, I don't really know what this hill is, I don't even remember it on the ride, but literally going over the big one with an inversion would be epic. And to keep the momentum going, we're actually going to add a little bit of an overbank right there. And now we need to figure out what to do over Icon, because this section in real life is, again, just a flat turn and it's very painful. But on the RMC, they wouldn't have flat turns. No coaster nowadays would have a flat turn, would it, Alton Towers? So we got to think of something unique to do right here. And I've got an idea that might work. I mean, that looks horrendous from here, but I guess it kind of works. Except that doesn't work at all, because if you zoom into a real-life map or a real-life POV, you'll notice that the flat turn has steeplechase going over it. And what don't I have in this park file? Steeplechase. And using my eccentric calculations and my unbelievable math skills, steeplechase appears to come over the track around here in front of me right now, which means it would hit the RMC. So we're going to have to rework that element, and I've got a plan. So I've come up with the alternative of having it barrel roll over Icon and then dip down further than that flat turn, and then where steeplechase comes over, having a wave turn out to the side so we don't have to have too much clearance, and I think that works pretty well. As we now hit one of my favourite parts of the ride, the tunnel, which for old time's sake I'm actually going to keep pretty similar to how it is right now and just have it drop down like so. And the one thing we can definitely do here is add even more little bunny hills that Big Dipper doesn't have in real life. Now, another thing to be careful of here is between Icon and Big Dipper is the train, so I do think that they would have to modify the train tracks to go under this support structure. But they can do that themselves. I sorted steeplechase out for them. And everyone always says that the end of Icon should have had an inversion in there somewhere, so I'm going to make sure I put one at the end of this. And thus the layout is complete on RMC Big Dipper. I am going to have to change this to the classic colours though, because it just looks weird as yellow. And we'll make it look really nice with like a white and red instead. There we go. Look at that. That is the Big Dipper. Oh, the sign is very far away from that inversion. Now with 5 inversions, if you count the overbank halfway through as an inversion, loads more intense airtime moments, and a couple of sections that throw back to the original. That is my version of what Big Dipper would be like if RMC retracked it. So forgetting the pre-lift section because that bit is just long and boring, here is the POV of RMC Big Dipper. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future content and challenges much like this, and as much as this Big Dipper RMC would be that if it was real, go and check out my latest vlog from riding the UK's newest thrill ride. It was quite the fun ride, and I checked out that entire park for the first time. Go and watch that video now.